I'm Taylor Lorenz, and we are here at VidCon, and I would like to introduce you to Phil Lester, YouTuber extraordinaire.
Hello, hello. Hey, I'm glad we've got matching outfits.
I know, twins.
We totally
twins.
planned this.
Denim is like the signature VidCon look, it seems like. Sorry about this. I got my phone charger on stage. All right, well, so Phil, thank you so much for coming all the way from London for this.
I'm so happy to be here. I always feel very British when I'm speaking to Americans all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm aware of my accent all of a sudden.
Well, I'm going to be looking at my phone. I'm not texting. I'm actually, this is where I'm the questions
I can see the Instagram. I can see the dog videos.
I'm trying to get you from a really low angle here. So first of all, everyone, I tweeted out earlier, people's questions for you, and I feel like 80% of them were about Toni, asking where he is and who's watching him.
Okay, well, that's the whole thing. For those of you that don't know about Toni, I bought a set where you can grow a shrimp from powder. And it was only meant to live for about 6 weeks.
From powder?
Yeah, it's like the little eggs are in the powder, and they've been asleep underground for thousands of years. Then you put them in the water, and they grow into a shrimp. And I thought it was going to die, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm going to VidCon. I can't just leave this shrimp in my apartment to die. So I bought a full 50-pound tank for it to live in, and then I had to buy a machine that feeds my shrimp every day, and you set a little clock for it. So at home, there's a little robot feeding my shrimp.
You're going to come home and the shrimp is going to be like 150 pounds, like on your couch.
It's going to be in the bathtub, like, hello. I'm here.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
So, I know you have a lot of merch. And another thing people wanted to know about your merch collection is, are you going to sell vases?
Vases? Oh. See, we say vases.
Oh, vases.
Vases. That's a thing. I mean, I like a glass of water, so why go back for more? When you can drink out of a giant one.
Okay.
It's a glass.
Yeah.
It's a large glass. This is too small. This is like a thimble.
So, you've been on YouTube forever.
Yes, forever.
What?
Since the dawn of time.
Since the dawn of YouTube. What has been some of your most memorable moments on YouTube? Do you have like one video that really stands out that you really loved?
Oof, the whole thing has been an adventure, and it's one of those things where you don't realize where it's going to go. So I just started making videos for fun, and I just didn't know that it was going to turn into this big thing. Who would think there'd be a convention all about people turning on a camera and chatting to it and then uploading it? So that was a big surprise. And it's really hard to pick out one memorable moment of this entire journey, because looking back on it, the whole thing has just been incredible and more than I could have dreamed of happening.
Yeah, it's like a blur.
It's a blur. It's a wonderful blur.
So, you're kind of in the news a lot recently for coming out.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what made you decide to come out now? What made you take the plunge?
Well, that was the thing, because it was a strange one, because I'd already come out to most of my friends and family like quite a while ago, but it was one of those things that having on the internet, I was like, I don't know if I want to share too much of my private life, but then I also thought that my story might be able to help other people. So I thought, you know what, why not just do it and let everyone know I'm gay. So, yeah.
So speaking of VidCon again,
yes.
How many VidCons have you been to?
I was trying to think about this earlier. I think this might be my 8th VidCon.
I feel like every sentence you say, we're just going to hear like massive screams.
That's a lot of VidConning.
That is so much. VidCon's only been around for 10 years.
I know. And thinking back to my first ever VidCon, I was so nervous to even come here, but also I was really excited because I hadn't been invited to the one before, and then I got invited to this one. I was like, wow, I feel like a legit YouTuber now. And I had probably the worst hair of my life as well. So that was a great impression to give everyone.
What would you say what's been your best VidCon so far?
Honestly, I think the first one, just because I'd never really been to America to meet all of these creators that I watched, and I was like, Anthony Padilla's over there. And it was like such a big deal to meet all of these people that are doing YouTube, and I was still quite new to having a big audience, and then seeing how far other people were taking it. It was crazy. So
that was my next question. Is I was wondering if you're ever starstruck by anyone.
Oh my gosh, that was a big one when I first saw Anthony back in the day. I was like, I'm such a big fan, but you don't want to be that person. So
Did you say that to him?
No, I was just like, all right, how you doing? It was like, wow, he's unfriendly. I think I played it too cool, but we're good friends now, so that's nice. Yeah.
Amazing.
And also, I hung out with Sophia Nygaard this year. And we've chatted before at the other VidCon, and we talk online sometimes, but there's something about her videos I just find so relaxing. I'm just like, if I'm in a bad mood, I just want to watch someone melt 400 candles together into one candle, and it just really chills me out. Anyway, we hung out with her and Tyler, and also Simply Logical and her sister, so it's just nice to be able to see friends that you wouldn't normally get to see, because no one comes to London. I'm so far away.
Do they have London VidCon?
They have started doing a London VidCon now, but I think only a few Americans have dipped their toes into it so far.
They need a VidCon exchange program for all the YouTubers to kind of go everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, I sympathize. I love to watch the soap carving videos.
Oh my gosh, the soap carving, the slime.
Yeah.
Like my Instagram feed, do you know it recommends you videos? It is all just dipping fingers into slime.
Have you ever tried to make the slime?
Wow. Yeah, I have tried to make slime, and it went actually surprisingly well. If anyone needs a slime recipe, check out my video.
I think it's hard to make. I tried to make it once, and it was glue all over.
Yeah, there's glue. There's chemical reactions happening that you don't want to be happening. It's very sticky. It's a whole thing.
So speaking of memorable videos, what videos are really memorable that you've made? Have you ever had a really great time making a video, or what videos do you have the most fun making?
It's been a whole journey of making videos. I think I did one which was a tour of my brain, which was a lot more artistic than I usually have, it involved me cutting out things out of cardboard and opening mysterious brain flaps, which is not a word I thought I'd say today. So that was quite a crafty one. And also, I think the coming out video was actually quite a big deal to me to make that, and that's probably one that I'm proud of for making, but also one that I was quite nervous to post, obviously, as well.
How long did you spend making it?
I mean, like, if you saw Dan's video, he spent months making his video about his sexuality, and that was like a whole process. But I was like, no, I'm going to keep mine low-key, and I'm just going to sit down and have a chat. But still, when I was editing, I was like, should I say that? Is that okay? Is this coming across right? And then, yeah, so it did still take me a while to, first of all, pluck up the courage to film it, and then secondly, post it. I was like, I don't want to press go. What's going to happen? Everything's going to change. But
how did it feel after you posted? Like, what was going through your mind?
Honestly, it was like the reaction I had from you guys, thank you, and also my peers, and also friends I hadn't talked to for years were just sending me messages saying that it had an impact on them or it helped them. So it was actually a really good feeling, and I was happy that I posted it.
That's really
Yeah.
So, I think people had a few questions about England.
Oh, okay.
I guess, you can be our British ambassador.
I will
here.
be the British ambassador today, yes.
So what are some British things that we should know here in America? Like, are there any kind of, like, British YouTuber slang? Or
well, one thing about Britain is sometimes I'll say, oh, I'm from London, and they'll be like, oh, do you know my friend John? And I'm like, no, it's actually quite a big place. So it's usually a lot bigger than people think. And there's a lot of places, like a lot of people think England is London, when there's so many other places in England. Like I'm from a distant town in the north where we all talk like we're from Game of Thrones. But I've lost that accent now. But yeah, there's so much more to it than just London. And I think if anyone visits, they should totally step their toes outside of the big city.
What would you say is the biggest difference between like British YouTubers and American YouTubers?
Ooh, I don't really. I feel like a lot of YouTubers are now, they're not doing similar things, but I wouldn't say there's a huge difference because YouTube's like a whole creative platform now. So people aren't just vlogging anymore. There's short films, there's whole feature films on there. So I wouldn't say I've noticed a huge difference between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of YouTube, I know there's probably some creators out here in the crowd among these fans.
Hello.
Raise your hand if you have a YouTube channel.
Who has a YouTube channel?
Oh, there's a lot.
Wow.
So what advice would you give to people that are just discovering YouTube or just, deciding to post their first video, but they might be a little bit nervous? What would you tell them?
I mean, it's always quite a nerve-wracking thing. So if you've already posted a video, then well done. You've already done the first thing. And I'd say do something that you want to make. Don't look at what everyone else is doing and think, wow, I need to copy that. I need to be like them. I need to do this because that's successful. Because if you're not doing something that fulfills you creatively, then I'm not sure it's going to be something you're going to want to stick with. And it shouldn't all be about the views and the numbers and think, oh, I've only got 10 views on my video. When if you think about 10 people, that's like quite a few people to have a chat to. And if it's 100 people, that's like, imagine if they're like all in the room with you. That's quite a lot of people. So I would just say make something you want to make and don't focus on numbers and instead just focus on the impact you've had on one other human, and that might be important to them, and that's enough.
I love that. What are some things you hope YouTube never changes about YouTube?
Ooh, what would never change?
Yeah.
That's hard.
I know, it's hard. I was thinking about this myself.
Yeah.
One thing, I don't know. I just think there's such a great creator community on YouTube. So I hope that, people can still come to VidCon in 20 years.
Yeah, no, I hope so. And I hope it stays a place where people can be freely creative and upload something that they're proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, YouTube also takes a lot of time. It's a lot of time and effort.
Yes.
You do so many things. You're touring, you got a book, you got Toni.
Toni's the biggest part.
How do you balance YouTube with the rest of your life and all these other projects that you've got going on?
I mean, it's always a bit of a juggling act. Like, there are some YouTubers that are machines and they will upload twice every day or something like that. But I don't upload as often as the standard algorithm would say. If you upload twice a day, then this is going to get you the most views. But it's just a fact of trying to juggle everything, doing some good scheduling, and also not worrying if something isn't on your channel for a week or 2 weeks, because everyone knows that I am doing other things as well, so I'm not always just sat there not doing anything.
Yeah.
There's always something going on.
You're not just lazing about.
I am lazing about sometimes. I mean, let's be real. But
yeah. So, what are some projects that you're looking forward to working on, or
I don't want to be the guy that's like mystery project, but at the moment I'm working on some bigger things, but it's quite a strange position to be in because I don't fully know what they are yet. But I can say that I've written part of a script for something which, if it does get made, will be really exciting. And I have pitched it out to a couple of things. That's all. But
that's very mysterious.
Yeah, I don't like to be mysterious, but I am working on things. But it's one of those things that I'm not getting too excited about it because obviously it's not a given that it's going to happen.
See how you go.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of dream projects? I've always wanted to star in a space movie.
Oh my gosh.
Like
No, my acting is terrible, so I would never star in a space movie. I could be a robot, maybe. A robot in a space movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just play the robot.
I'll play the robot.
Let's see your robot moves here.
Phil would like to answer another question. Thank you. Oscar Academy, are you out there? I think a dream project would be something with maybe some kind of movie with a bigger budget where I wasn't necessarily in it, but it was something that I've made, and I could see creations from my brain being made by other people. I think that would be great.
So you have a lot of fans here, obviously, a lot of fans online too. How often do you keep track of your fan accounts? Are you one of those kind of people, like the YouTubers that reads every single message? Yeah. Do you follow any fan Tumblrs?
No, I obviously look at my @replies on Twitter, and I love to see, especially the creative community out there. Some of the art that you guys make is incredible. So that's really nice. But I think it's when there is a community like that, I think it's good to just let them do their own thing and not be some kind of person looking over it and checking in directs and things like that, because then it becomes something that's not theirs, and it's I'm checking on what everyone's doing, which is probably what they don't want anyway, Yeah,
they don't want you lurking on them.
Yeah, so if they @reply me, then I'll see it, but if they don't, then I won't, because I think there are places that you could go on the internet where you could see people talking about you and things like that, but that's never been of interest to me because I just like people that are interacting with me directly,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite? I don't want you to pull out your phone right now, but just off the top of your memory.
Oh my gosh.
What's like your favorite meme? What's the last meme you saved?
The last meme I've seen.
Or saved.
Oh,
one that you like.
The last meme I've saved. Anything involving a dog is my go-to meme. So if there is a corgi involved, that'll be saved on my phone immediately.
That is a very British answer.
A corgi. I know. It's my favorite dog.
They're so cute. Their little legs.
Their little faces.
Yes.
I almost said I want to eat them. I don't want to eat one, but I emotionally want to eat one.
Yeah. It's kind of unfair that what's the other one? The Shiba Inu are always in the memes. I feel like corgis are underrepresented in memes.
2019 is a big year for the corg. I think they're making a comeback.
Would you ever get one?
I mean, I would love to get a dog, but yeah. But a dog is also a huge commitment that you can't take lightly, so I don't want to just get one and then not be able to look after it properly. So I need to be at a place in my life where I'm like, dog time. I have space for you. Maybe I'll see if Toni's still alive when I get back, and then I know I can look after a shrimp. Maybe I could move on to another animal.
Yeah. Get Toni to watch the dog.
Yeah, Toni will watch the dog. It'll be fine.
Get a robot to watch the dog.
Yeah. Or they could breed and make some kind of horrifying shrimp dog. I'm sorry.
That's a scary
I know.
mental
I started
image.
saying it. I was like, stop it.
On that note, we have some fan questions.
Ooh.
So I'm going to pull out some questions from Twitter.
Who are they from?
Should I read their @ replies?
Is it yeah, let's say their names as well.
All right. So first we've got, I don't even know if these are their real names.
Okay.
One is called Nachos, 12 Days Until Try Guys.
What's their @ name? Maybe you should say that.
Human Lester.
Human Lester. Shout out to you.
They actually had a question about Toni, too. People are very concerned about his well-being. I don't know why. They don't trust this robot that you love.
No, I should have got one of those pet cams where I could have maybe live streamed him while I was away. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, you should live stream it to the fans. They can keep track.
Yeah, there's actually someone that sat in the desk at our apartment, like the concierge guy, and I was like, I do have a shrimp in the apartment, so if there's an emergency, save the shrimp. Yeah.
Let's go to one from Fantastic DNP.
Okay.
Fantastic_DNP. This is marked important, all caps, exclamation point.
Yes.
So I need you to answer honestly. What socks do you have on right now?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. What we got? Oh, this is very appropriate for the US.
What are those? It's hard to see.
I've got waffles with little bits of butter on top. Yeah. Which is actually betraying my love of pancakes. So,
Yeah. Is that appropriate for VidCon, or what do you mean?
Perfect for America.
Oh, for America.
Yeah, we don't really do much of the waffles and pancakes back in England.
What?
So whenever I come here, I'm like, inhale all of the butter.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. That's sad. You need to be the one to popularize waffles in England.
I know. I'm going to start my own waffle stand. If YouTube fails, in a couple of years, or it shuts down, Phil's Waffles. It's opening up. 2020.
I think you get some customers.
Yeah, thank you.
The next one is for The Only Reason, spelled TEH only.
Only Reason.
Only Reason with 2 N's. Are there any awkward interactions you've had that still gives you flashbacks to this day?
Oh my gosh. If you watch my videos, you know my life is a whole series of awkward interactions. But there is one, I think I've spoken about this before at a panel, so sorry if I've already told you. But I was on a train, and it was completely full. I'd got on this train, I was like, it's so full, there's nowhere to sit, except there was a seat next to a woman who was asleep. And I was like, okay, she's asleep, but I might just sit down quietly, because I need somewhere to sit. It was like a 2-hour journey. Anyway, so I sat there for about 30 seconds, when all of a sudden, her hand went onto my leg and started rubbing it, and I was like, what's happening? What is she asleep? Is she asleep, reaching out to touch my leg? Until she looked at me and screamed because her boyfriend had gone to the toilet and she thought that I was her boyfriend that had come back to the seat. So then she looked at me. I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And then her boyfriend was looking at me because he'd come out of the toilet now and was like, all right, mate, what are you doing, my girl? And I was like, I'm sorry. This is such an awkward misunderstanding. I don't know how to explain it. So I was just awkwardly backing off down the train carriage. So that's why I now have a fear of trains. Yeah, that always, whenever I think about awkward moments, there's a lot, but that's always the A star.
I have secondhand embarrassment from that.
Yeah, I've got back sweat now thinking about it. It was a lot.
So the next question is from at AmazingChance33, and no spoilers because I have not seen it yet somehow.
Oh my gosh.
But how did you feel about Stranger Things 3?
Ooh, is anyone a fan of Stranger Things?
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I have not seen this yet.
I'm on to episode 3, and I am loving it so far. Yeah. I'm not someone that binges shows. I can't watch it all in one day. I need to.
How? How do you like not watch it all in one day?
Because then I'll be sad when it's over. So I like eke it out. I'll do like 2 a day maybe.
Are you one of those people that takes like one bite of their Halloween candy? And
no, with candy I'm like, eat all of it. No, but I'm loving the summer theme of Stranger Things, and I feel like already it's a much stronger season than season 2. I don't know if that is. Yeah, people agree with me. I'm interested to see where it's going. I've seen the scene with the rats. That's all I'll say, which is quite disturbing. There's a rat scene.
That sounds creepy. I feel like you need to be a guest on Stranger Things.
I would love to be a guest on Stranger Things. Maybe. Again, I don't want to ruin it with my acting, but maybe I could be some kind of alien. I'd be good at that.
Aliens and robots. I feel like we're having a lot of conversation. Okay, the next one is from @Opheliola. Pheliola.
Opheliola.
I feel like I need to spell these out because they're very hard to pronounce. So she's asking, is there something from the new era of YouTubers that you wish you had during the OG YouTube era?
Oh my gosh, the new era. I'd say fast internet, because back in my day, no, I'd make a video
and then it would hitch the computer to a horse.
Yeah. I had to give the video to a horse and then it delivered it. No. It took like 4 hours or 5 hours to upload a video, or some like a big one would like leave uploading overnight. So to be able to like upload something a bit faster, I'd take that. What else would I take from now? I don't know. Maybe my knowledge and wisdom of not being a 17-year-old.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, well, sorry. This is from Tanouten.
Tanouten.
What do you do during a creative block?
Oh, see this?
How do you get through it?
Having been on YouTube for so long, there's obviously going to be a time where I'm like, I literally have no idea what to do. And I think anyone in a creative industry is going to have a creative block, and it depends on the person, obviously. But for me, it really helps to talk to someone. I'm having one now. Will you talk to me? No. No. But it helps. Like, I've got Dan. I can talk to him about like, what do you think of this idea, or what do you think I could do with this? Or also, I will. This sounds very off-brand, but I will go out for a walk and just clear my head. Or if something is really blocking your brain and you can't think of it, just stop forcing it and maybe try thinking about something else, or go to sleep and try again the next day, because you can't always force an idea. And then if you've done that, the next day you might be like, oh, there we go, brainwave. I know how to do this.
And wake up with an epiphany.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Compromising PML.
Oh, compromising. What's this going to be?
How was it performing in front of 5,000 people for 80-plus shows for around a year?
Oh my gosh.
That sounds so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I mean, going on tour was probably one of the most incredible experiences of my life. First of all, I get to see so much of the audience. Like, every day it's a new audience. But also, it's quite a nerve-wracking experience, because you're going, I mean, I'm on a stage right now. This is quite scary. Are you a bit scared, maybe?
I'm terrified.
A little bit. No, but you never know what's going to happen. But also, the good thing for me is that I was performing in front of a crowd that already knew me and enjoyed my videos. And that was kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling, rather than they're going to attack me, I'm doing a presentation at school kind of feeling. So I think the first show was scary, but then after like show 3 or 4, I was just loving it so much that I didn't want it to end.
Did you have any people that like followed you on tour, like from multiple cities or countries?
Yeah, there was some familiar faces, especially in America, because we were on a tour bus, so we could go sleep on the tour bus, then we'd wake up in a new place, but someone else could drive to the next place and come see the show again. But the good thing about the show, you should totally get the DVD, by the way, if you haven't yet. Spawn. The good thing about the show is each one was quite different, because we had a lot of segments that had audience interaction. So that we'd had this website where you could fill in like different answers. So like we did a truth bombs thing where people could roast us. So that was refreshing for us. So because each day we didn't know what was going to be on the screen behind us. So that kept the show fresh, but also had a rewatchability for someone that might have been to the last one.
Awesome. This is from @requitelove. Has there been a point where you wanted to quit doing YouTube? Like, did you just ever feel like too much and you're just burnt out and you want to not do it anymore?
Not necessarily YouTube. I had a bit of a I don't even want to be on the internet moment. I don't know what year it was, but basically I was in a very embarrassing car insurance advert, and it was one of those things where back in the day, I don't know if it was like 2008 or 2007, but just the idea of being on TV was really exciting, even if it was in some kind of weird car insurance spawn. I don't even know if I got paid for it. I don't think it was like, they were just like, do you want to be in this? I was like, yeah, sure. So I sent them a clip. What I didn't know is they put this advert out, I'd say, every 30 minutes on British television. Every ad break had my face in it. And it was to the point where people in the street that didn't know me from YouTube were like, oh my God, it's the car insurance guy. And it got me quite like nervous to go outside, because I was like, people are recognizing me from this annoying advert, and I didn't realize how annoying it was at the time, because I thought it was just going to be some kind of in-joke with my friends. But it just turned into this huge thing where everyone was recognizing me from this advert. So at that point, I was like, maybe this might not be for me if I'm not enjoying this kind of attention. If my YouTube gets bigger, what if it's the same? But you don't realize that the difference between people that enjoy my videos that I'm happy to make, and then if I see someone now in the street, they'll be really nice and not like laugh at me.
That's really funny. I feel like you're probably like a meme before.
I was a meme.
Like
I was
memes.
literally the annoying car insurance guy. Yeah.
This one is from @bunsomethingh.
Yes.
She says, I have very bad social anxiety. Do you have any advice? By the way, love you so much.
Oh, thank you. Love you too. Bad social anxiety. I think that's not something I'm like qualified to give proper advice on, but I do suffer from anxiety myself. And I think it's just something where what helps me is, I think, when you have that kind of social anxiety, you're always worried about what other people are thinking about you and how you're presenting yourself and what they're thinking about you and what their feelings about you are. But what I've realized, and what is important to realize, is everyone has their own thoughts and anxieties going on in their head all the time. And they're probably not thinking all those things that you are thinking about yourself, because they're like, oh, what am I doing tonight? Oh, I need to do that work. Oh, there's Rachel. Oh, yeah, but I need to think about that. But they're not like, wow, I hate her hair. Wow, I don't like that. Wow, I'm thinking this about them. And it's just your brain is lying to you and making something bigger than it actually needs to be. That's what I'd say. So I'd say just try just to focus on yourself and what you want to do, and just do something you feel comfortable with. But also don't be afraid of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone every so often, just to give it a little test, because you might be surprised of where you can go.
Yeah, I like that. Next question is from @SpacePlums. She wants to know if
Space plums.
Yeah. A lot of space stuff here.
Yeah,
Space robots, aliens. Did you see they're going to storm Area 51?
I saw this storming Area 51. Don't do it.
Are you going to? Oh, I was going to ask if you're going to join.
I don't want to get shot. They've got
By
lasers
the
there and
aliens or
stuff.
The army?
But both. I mean, once they get the alien out, who knows what's going to happen? I would totally look after one of the aliens, though. I love the meme about the alien that's in the doorway. Have you seen that? Like, my alien, when I'm up at 3 a.m. eating cereal out of the box, and it's just like...
Wait, no, I haven't seen that.
There's an alien meme today. It's really good.
That's really funny. It reminds me of like the FBI agent in your computer.
Yes, that's what it's like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've got a new thing for my computer where it's a sticker and it goes over your laptop, but you can slide it back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah. So now FBI can't watch me anymore.
They just have to watch your YouTube videos like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get direct access.
They can still listen through the microphone, but they can't watch.
Yeah. Well, Space Slums wants to know, is your gaming channel coming back?
Oh yes, the gaming channel.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that was one of the most popular questions that we got asked, aside from
people
Toni.
Want to know. We got a lot of gamers here, game fans.
A lot of gamers, and I'm so happy people enjoy the gaming channel. We took a pause from the gaming channel using the word hiatus, which always seems like a bit of a dramatic word, but the thing is, Dan wanted to obviously take a break because he didn't want to do any YouTube videos for a while, because he was planning this video about his sexuality, and that was such a big deal for him. So I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, we should pause everything for a bit. But also, I think when you're making something, even if it's really great and people love it, you should always have a pause and think about, what do we want to do with this? Is this going to last forever? How's it going to work? So the truth is, we haven't sat down and had a full chat about what's the gaming channel going to be now. But it is something that we're really happy people enjoyed. And also, in the future, because the thing is, with gaming, people come to the gaming channel because they like watching me and Dan do things. And I feel like the gaming part of it is less important than the funny bands. I know some people like the video games, but if you think about it, it's more about being a comedy channel than it is necessarily about serious gaming. We're doing level 7 of this game. So if it might come back as gaming, or it might even come back as something else where me and Dan are trying something new, because and like we haven't spoken about this properly yet, so that might not be a thing that happens. But it's just we always want to be evolving and trying different things. So the answer is I don't know. It's still on a hiatus, but I'm very glad that you enjoyed what we made so far in it.
What are some games that you love to play? Like, do you still play games on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends, which just is me. I go around. I'm so terrible at it, but and I just get shot by lots of people. But then in the 1 out of 50 games where I kill someone, I'm like, yes. And I also played Hollow Knight recently on the Switch. That is an amazing game. If anyone's got a Switch, I was also rubbish at that, but I finished it 100%. So I'd recommend that. Hollow Knight.
Got it.
Yeah, you love it. Everyone loves it.
So this one is from PJ's Forest Kid.
PJ's Forest Kid. Woo!
Have you seen any celebrity dogs yet?
Oh my gosh, there's so many dogs at VidCon. It's like DogCon.
So many. I can't tell which ones are celebrities and which ones aren't. They're all so cute.
Yeah, I've seen some dogs. I've also seen the celebrity pig. Has anyone seen the pig?
What?
There's a pig. There's a literal pig here.
A little one or a big one?
There's a massive pig.
Wait, like a hog?
No, it's like this. It's like this big. I don't know if I had too much coffee at Starbucks and I'm like imagining this pig. I saw a pig.
How do you know it was a celebrity pig and not just a pig attending VidCon?
Grace Helbig took a picture with it. So if you go to her Instagram, there's a pig there, and I saw that pig. But I just had this crazy Starbucks tie-dye frappuccino, so I drank all that and I was like, oh, there's a pig. Am I seeing things? I've had too much sugar. By the way, that is a weird drink.
Wait, I was going to ask. I've seen people like tweet about it. What does it taste like?
It tastes like Skittles and banana at the same time, is what I said. But then the cream is very vanilla-y, so it's a lot. It's a lot is happening.
I don't know if that sounds good.
I give it 4 out of 5.
Oh, that's solid.
Like, on my first sip, I was like, ugh. But then I drank the whole thing.
What's your usual like go-to Starbucks order?
Anything with lots of sugar. So I always go for the crazy frappuccino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, you kind of already answered this, but I'll just give you another opportunity if there's any other words of advice.
Oh, of course.
That you would give. So this is from NIAMHH 1408. What word of advice would you give to young kids, even those not starting on YouTube? Like, what are some things that you wish you knew as a teenager?
Some things I wish I knew as a teenager is probably to not stress out about really small things that are in your head on that day. Like, my world is ending, I'm so stressed about this, and maybe think, what am I going to be doing in a month from now? And is this particular thing I'm really upset about or worried about going to be a big deal in a month or a year? And just try and picture yourself beyond that really stressful day. Like, I really hated some parts of being at school, and I was like, this is going to last forever. I'm going to be at school forever, and I hate it. But then if you just think, oh, actually, in 2 years, I'm not going to be there anymore, it's like, oh, this isn't my life forever. So I'd say that.
What were you like as a teenager? Like, what was your vibe?
My vibe, I was very shy, but if I was with people that I knew well, I was pretty much the same as I am now. I would just say really weird things that came to my head. But at school, yeah, I was very quiet.
So this one is from @DreamPhil. I feel like a lot of these are just stand names.
Is that actual name?
Yeah. They want to know your YouTube guilty pleasure.
Oh.
We already covered slime.
We covered slime. We covered Sophia melting candles together. I really like watching cooking videos because I don't want. It's weird because I can't really cook very well. If you'd seen any of the baking videos, you would know. Except the brownies. If you ever make the brownies, they are great. But apart from that, it's a bit of a train wreck. But I was watching, what's he called? Jun's Kitchen. Does anyone watch that? Yes. He makes these really intricate bakes, with his cats watching. So you've got cats and also food.
How do you get get cats to behave?
It's crazy. They just
watch
sit,
a video.
They just sit and watch him making these cheesecakes. And he was spinning sugar, and the cats were just like, they are some well-trained kittens. Or they're CGI. I haven't figured it out yet. They're robots.
Like it's so hard to make cats care about anything.
Yeah,
I feel like cats are usually like,
that
whatever.
That is a niche that he is doing well.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you have like a go-to thing that you cook at home? Like what's your a dinner every night?
I go about as far as getting a jar and pouring it on something. I've moved beyond microwave food though, so I've advanced. But also I really love a takeaway. That's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, takeaway in British speak is
that's takeout.
It's takeout or delivery.
Delivery. It's both. They bring it to your house.
Yes,
you don't
delivery.
need to go there. Yeah, delivery.
I got a little confused about that.
That's okay. Now I'm hungry.
Okay, so AMORDNP, Amornd.
Amor.
They want to know, what is your favorite piece of merch? What's like something from your merch that you honestly like would wear every day forever?
Well, it's not something to wear, but I've been working on this candle that I released, and I was so obsessed with getting it perfect. I think we've had like 30 different samples of this candle before the finished one came through. And it was all about the smells, like getting that perfect fill smell. That sounds weird, but it's the whole thing. So I could choose the glass, I could choose the wax, I could choose the scent, I could choose the box. So I was just like, okay, I want to get this right. So I was having smells delivered to the house. We were sniffing all these different things. And like it was like a full chemistry lab. It was crazy.
Yeah, how do you even decide that? Like, do you have a smell, like when they send you these smells, do they send you like little pieces of flowers and stuff to smell?
No, it's like little like smelly jars of
like little scents.
Yeah, little scents. So I picked one that I felt like it represented what I would want in a candle. Like they're very summery, planty fill smells. But they don't smell like literally me. So just like the essence of me.
Your essence.
Yeah, that's something I've been really excited by.
Yeah, that sounds very relaxing and soothing. How did you pick the color? What color is it?
The color is a very bluey, greeny color, which is also very Phil. And it smells nice. Just please don't burn your house down.
Yeah. So this one is from @Softboy Howl.
Softboy Howl.
They want to know some favorite tour moments, especially to those places that you guys had never been before.
Oh, I mean, I was so lucky with this tour because I literally went all around the world. I got to see so many places that I've not seen before. I went to Mumbai. I went to New Zealand. I really like New Zealand, actually. Like,
it's supposed to be beautiful.
It's beautiful. You see it and you're like, why does anyone live anywhere else? When you see the rolling hills from The Lord of the Rings, you're like, what is this place of beauty? So that's definitely somewhere I'd want to return. I love that. But yeah, I feel like that was a year of my life on that tour. And just living on a tour bus and having a crew that became my friends, and it's weird. It's like you're living with 20 people, and then when it finishes, I think this is probably the same as being on a film set. When you finish this thing, you're just like, bye, and then you go on to the next job, and you're like, don't go, friends, just live with me in my apartment. So it actually took a bit. It wasn't like mourning, but it just took a bit of adjusting to be like, oh, okay, I'm not going to see 20 people every day.
Do you guys have reunions or anything, or like a group chat?
We should. We had a reunion with a couple of them, but I think we might have like a 1-year reunion where we all like hang out again.
Was there anywhere that you booked on your tour just because you wanted to go there?
Like I wanted to go back to Vegas because that was really fun, but that didn't work out.
But you're about to go to Vegas, right?
Yeah, about to go to Vegas. That'll be fun. But New Zealand was one of them that we really wanted to get to.
New Zealand's supposed to be so amazing.
Yeah, it's just so far away. It's so hard to get to, especially when you're bringing things over. It's like, how is this going to work? But thankfully, we figured it out. And also to go to Manila as well, because there was so many people saying, come to Manila. And we didn't know that was possible, but to finally get there, it was incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Brazil? I feel like people are always like, come to Brazil.
Yes, Brazil as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good.
That's amazing. Is there anywhere that you didn't get to go on that tour that you're like, man, I gotta your next tour?
We would have loved to go to Mexico. We tried so hard, but it just didn't work out this time. But it's somewhere that, if I get the chance, I would love to visit.
I love that.
Yeah, I would love to.
So this one is from B99 Howl. They said, what inspires you the most?
Ooh, I'd say other people inspire me the most. Just seeing what other people are creating and just consuming media that people have really worked hard on. I watch PJ's videos, and he's such a creative guy, and you can tell that he really loves what he makes. And just seeing people being, I guess, breaking from the YouTube mold and just making something creative, that really inspires me. Yeah.
Is there anywhere that like you go to seek inspiration? I mean, like, I know you talked a little bit about this, like sleeping on it, what to do when you have a creative block. But is there anywhere that you go to find ideas? Like, do you watch other YouTube channels? Do you go on Tumblr? What do you do?
Ooh, going to find ideas. That's a tough one. I don't like sit in an art gallery and cry while staring at a blank wall. But I just try to watch as many other people's videos or just TV as well. Like, there's so much good TV at the moment, like Stranger Things. You're just like, there's so much inspiration here that I might be able to take somewhere else. But yeah, I think it's just watching other people's videos. Like Jenna Marbles, she's always got an amazing idea. I'll watch her just like give her dogs treats for 25 minutes, and it's better than an Oscar movie. So yeah, she's a good one to watch if you need a bit of inspiration.
What other TV shows are you watching?
Oh, I'm always back on Buffy. I watch that a lot. I'm on Brooklyn Nine-Nine at the moment, which has been incredible. I'm on season 2, but that is a dangerous binge watch because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've watched 4 of the episodes now and I haven't done anything. But yeah, it's really good. I love the characters. I think it's great.
Are you like a Netflix person? Like, do you just go on Netflix and
I never watch real TV. I'm just always on Netflix or anything, on Amazon, any of the things. I'm just like, yes, recommend more things to me. Or house, like home shows as well, like house decorating.
So relaxing.
It was kind of trash, but also amazing. I watched Selling Sunset on Netflix.
Oh my God, my favorite show. I got so addicted to it. I just was like, it recommends it to you, and
yeah,
you're like,
it kept telling me to watch it.
And then you're like, oh my God, Chriselle, like, why are they being so mean to her?
Does
anyone out here watch that? By the way,
anyone watch it? Like 3 people. I watched it with my parents on holiday for some reason. Anyway, I walked past the Oppenheim group, like in LA, and I was like, oh my God. They're in there. I turned into a bit of a fanboy for a second.
So Selling Sunset, just since it seems like most of you guys have not watched the show.
If you want some full reality trash in a good way, it's that.
It's these like beautiful real estate agents in LA that sell like mega mansions, and everyone is so beautiful that works in that office.
Yeah, it kind of hurts your eyes a bit, doesn't it?
I mean, that's LA too, but it's just, it also kind of made me think I could sell houses. Yeah. Like, they're kind of like having lunches most of the time.
It's
and, like,
a lot of
having
lunches
drama.
And then
and you're
getting
like,
$20 million.
Like, yeah, what? That's so easy. I'll just, who wouldn't want to buy this? Yeah, $18 million house. So anyway, so at Baby DJH.
Baby DJH.
Wants to know, how do you look after your mental health in regards to social media?
Ooh, that's the thing. I think sometimes there can be too much of social media, and you don't want to be looking at it as soon as you fall asleep and as soon as you wake up. So for me, I think, like I said earlier, I just try and consume things that I know will make me happy. So I'm not always on the Instagram feed, like, trying to see the most beautiful people, or I'm not trying to see, like, indirect people talking about me where I'm not meant to read it. I think it's more just knowing what I want to look at, and also checking yourself and thinking, does this make me happy? Do I need to look at this every day or not? Because especially, like, I only follow a few things on Twitter because you don't want to maybe wake up and the first thing you see is some intense political stuff or people shouting at each other or arguing. And I think a lot of it can be a negative space, but there are ways to make it more positive for yourself.
Yeah, if you could only have one social media platform for the rest of your life, not YouTube, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, just one? I think I'd probably go with Twitter, because that's where...
Wow.
That is where I interact with my audience the most, and that's I think, the most important thing.
Yeah, Twitter is kind of crazy, though, sometimes. It's so hard to follow. Like, it's a lot coming at you.
There's a lot, but also it's, thankfully, from the community that watches my videos, it's usually quite a positive thing. If I check my @replies, I'll be like, oh, someone's saying this, or someone's made this amazing drawing. So that's always a nice feeling.
Yeah. Do you have any like bedtime rituals, for your phone at night? Like,
oh my
some
gosh.
people like.
Did anyone try and use that screen time thing where it came out? Where it's a few of you. There's a thing that like switches off your Instagram if you've been on it for an hour or half an hour or something. So I was like, okay, I'll give that a go. I'm gonna be one of these people. every day it's like, your time has run out. And I'm like, keep going. So that failed. I'm really guilty of it, though. I just stare at my phone until I fall asleep, which you're not meant to do. You're meant to, like, switch it away, read a book. So maybe I'll try and be better, but I'm really bad at it.
They sell little beds, like little mini beds for your phone.
Oh my gosh,
and you
that's
can
like
tuck
Black
your
Mirror.
phone in to bed. Yeah.
Why?
Just to put it to bed before you go to bed.
Shh.
Don't ring. No one text me.
Yeah.
I think that you should have an away message for your phone. Like I always want something that's just like you could just like mark and just be like, I'm not by my phone right now.
Yes, that's the thing, because you're always on it all the time, and everyone is expecting a constant stream of communication. But no one ever calls me. That's the thing. I don't like phone calls, so whenever that happens, I'm like, what? My phone has that function? I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's always terrifying. I assume as a telemarketer and never answer.
No.
So at Nemo23_95 wants to know any airport fail stories.
Oh my gosh, there's always a thing with our travel to any kind of convention. This time was pretty impressive. So we got on the plane at Heathrow in London, and we'd sat in it for a while. Nothing was happening. We were like, I'm sure we're meant to have taken off by now. This is really weird. And then the pilot came on, the tannoy, and he was Australian. And he was like, "G'day, seem to have a bit of an issue." And we were like, "Well, what's that?" He said, "In my 20 years of flying, we've never had this problem before, but there appears to be a wash bag on the wing."
What's a wash bag?
With people's toothbrushes and stuff in, like a toiletries bag, on the wing of the plane. This was a 2-story plane, and there's literally someone's toothbrush bag on the wing. So, like, what happened? Did someone just, like, yeet their toothbrushes onto the wing of the plane? So people were getting a bit worried, like, why is it there? How did it get there? And the pilot was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know how we're going to get it off, because if you think about a plane, it's really tall. So we were delayed for 2 hours.
What?
Sat on the plane while they had to get a crane to get someone to raise up and just get this bag off the wing. And we were thinking, are they going to be in one of like those suits to like figure out what's in it? Because we didn't know what's in it. A few people were starting to panic, but we were kind of just finding it slightly funny. I don't know why. Anyway, they retrieved it, and it just did have toothbrush and toothpaste.
They should have just taken off, and then it would like fall off the wing.
That would have been a fun game, like see how far it got.
Yeah.
Until it got too high, and then you don't want it to land on a cat or something, do you?
That's true. That's true.
That would explode. Sorry.
The cat would explode.
I mean, if it got hit by a wash bag from 30,000 feet.
Yeah, that would be dangerous.
Yeah.
I feel like it would just fall off as soon as you drove forward. But you don't want to see you don't want to see anything on the wing of a plane.
No.
Period.
Though when we were driving, actually, there was a lizard on the car, and I was like, please don't fall off. So we had to stop, and then it crawled back in the car, and we were like, come on, Larry, just get off the car.
He crawled into the car?
No, he was like underneath where the windscreen wiper is. It was like a pet, but we didn't want it to die, so we had to release it.
He wanted to.
He just wanted to go on an LA adventure, you know?
Yeah. Have you had any memorable LA adventures?
Hey, I went on a hike because, like,
wow.
Which is a very LA thing and a very unphil thing. And I went with Dan. And we didn't know that a hike involved actually walking up a really steep hill. We thought it was just one of those things, you go for a little wander, but we went to the Griffith Observatory, and it was like, it was like that.
Yeah, that's like not an easy hike.
No, it was not an easy hike. And also, I am the palest person ever, so the sun was beating down, and I was like, this is a lot. Thankfully, everyone has tiny dogs, so that's a boost, like an emotional boost every time you see a dog when you're going up the hike. But it was good. I'd recommend it, actually, as a hike.
You need those like contraptions with like the little like cookie at the end of a string and
oh
a
my
stick,
gosh.
you know, but it's like a dog.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're just like, wait, come closer.
And then I wanted to just sing the whole of La La Land when I got to the top.
So Sophia _FAURSCH wants to know, what so far in your career are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? I'd say definitely the 2 tours that we've done. I'm just so proud of them, especially the most recent one. Like, when we worked on the DVD, it was just such a great feeling to see kind of what we've achieved. And also the audience's reaction to it as well. When we were filming it, I was just so happy with it. And then when I showed my mum, she had a little cry, and I was like, I've achieved something. That's nice. Yeah. So I'm proud of that.
Are you planning another tour?
Not at the moment, no. I think that was the one for a while, but I would never say never. I mean, I would like to. It's just one of those things that it'll feel ready to do it when it's ready. So I'm not thinking I need to go do it now, but maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have about 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left, and I thought we'd take a few more questions from Twitter.
Okay, let's do it.
So let's see.
What have we got?
And if there's any you don't want to answer, just say pass.
Okay.
All right.
Be
so
kind.
Let's pull it out. I think before you came here, I was telling you most of the questions, when I put out a call for questions, I was like, what do you guys want to know? And they're just all like, why are you so awesome?
Oh.
Why do you inspire me so much? So you have a lot of amazing fans.
Yeah.
So let's just check the hashtag AmazingPhilVidCon.
Ooh, has anyone sent one in? Let's see. It could be you.
This person wants to know, do you have a TikTok?
I do. I think. I was about to say no, but my friend Bryony was like, you have to install this and experience it. So I did download it, but I don't actively make TikToks. I was just curious. I was like, what is this thing? I want to be in the loop.
Have you like, what do you think of TikTok? It's a wild world on TikTok.
Yeah, it's so different to anything I've been used to. I'd say the closest like cousin of it was probably Vine, which I loved when it existed. But there are some TikTok compilations I've watched that are actually really funny. So there is some stuff on there that's good.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It's like TikToks that keep me going in the day, those kind of compilations.
If you need TikToks to get through the day, you gotta watch more YouTube. This person wants to know if your mother's ever gonna get on YouTube.
My mom. I actually made a video with my mum, I think it was like 5 years ago or something, but I think that was enough for her because someone recognized her in the shop and she was like, oh, I didn't realize this would happen. So she's had her taste of fame, but now she's enjoying the anonymous life.
She's like, no.
She's like, no, and there's not going to be an amazing Kath channel anytime soon. She would be a great YouTuber, though. She's hilarious.
Yeah. What does it take to be a good YouTuber, do you think?
I think it's being genuine, I would say, because it's very obvious if someone's pretending not to be themselves, but also just someone that's got something to say, I would say.
So yeah, somebody's got something to say.
Share your creativity.
Yeah.
There's no rule. Anyone could do it.
Yeah. This person wants to know, what collab would you love to do that you haven't had the opportunity to do yet?
Oh my gosh, there's so many collabs I'd want to do. Yeah, Sophia would be great. I'd love to do one with Jenna Marbles one day. And it was really fun collabing with Anthony last time. I did a Dan, Phil, or a Rat. A Dan, Anthony, or a Rat competition. So maybe they could have a sequel to that or something. Yeah.
I love that. Have you ever filmed a video but not uploaded it?
Ooh, that'd be a rare thing. I think the only time I think that might have happened is if you film and then the memory card crashes or something like that. I did one where I did that personality test with the million questions, the INFJ or whatever, and I filmed that for like 2 hours, and then I realized it was super boring. I was like, this is not, no one cares, because there's so many questions. So,
what did you get? Do you remember the results of that?
I can't remember. I was in one of my recent videos, but I can't remember what the result was. INFP.
Yeah.
Shout out to
what those mean. People always say like I'm NQ whatever, but I can't remember what it means.
NQJL, yeah. As introverted, northern, friendly person.
What do you think your fan base would be called if they hadn't already named themselves?
If they haven't named themselves, that is an impossible question.
What have they named themselves?
Well, there's lots of names going out there. The fandom with a PH was
yeah. I feel like that's the one I've heard of.
Yeah, that's a good one though. It's a play on words. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you have to make it a pun. That's the hard thing, and there's only so many like puns.
There's only
funny
so many
spellings
puns
that you can do. I think one. I'll suggest one, which I don't know people use, is like the fanatics.
The fanatics.
With like a PH.
That's that's a lot.
I heard some boos. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Boo.
Don't use it then. All right.
Sorry.
90% of these messages, I have to tell you, are just dogs and like pictures of corgis.
I mean, that's just my feed anyway on Twitter.
This is like why you love Twitter. I would love Twitter if this was my experience of Twitter. It's just
it's like a lot of dogs, a lot of corgis. That is a lot of it.
Great. You know what I feel like? Yeah, some people asking who would play you in a movie.
Ooh, maybe Benedict Cumberbatch.
Wow.
I like, some people say we share a similar feature, but I can never work out what it is. Maybe is it the eyes or the nose?
It's so funny when you say
forehead.
that now. I see it. Like I totally see it.
Moriarty. I don't know if it's the eyes or the forehead. Maybe somewhere. Forehead, yeah. Cheekbones.
Cheekbones.
Yeah.
That's a very like like you don't think about someone's cheekbones, but when you see two people with the same cheekbones, you're like, wow, twins.
There it is.
Twins.
So yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch probably.
This one might be a little hard, but if you had to pick a quote for your senior yearbook, what would you pick?
Pick a quote.
Or like a motto. Like, do you have like a motto that gets you through the day?
Motto. There is never too much candy. That's the first one that came to my head. Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Are there any kind of like fun dances that you're into?
Dances? In fact, no. I mean,
I think they're trying to get you to dance on stage.
No, please don't get me to dance on stage.
I think that's what some of these are.
No. There was
save it for TikTok.
Our first tour, we did a whole dance routine at the end of it.
You did?
Yeah. And that was one of the hardest things for me because people have got two left feet. It's like I've got no feet when I try and do any kind of movement. So we had 2 days with a real choreographer who works with like West End shows. And every time you could just see this disapproving face. No, Phil, try again. I've never sweated so much. So yeah, dancing. I'm not going to be on Dancing with the Stars. I'm not going to be on Strictly Come Dancing like Joe Sugg. It's just not built into me.
That sounds so intimidating and terrifying, and I would probably fall on stage.
In the show, it was so ridiculous and far away from our comfort zones. It was funny, but I think actually trying something like actual dance, it would not be a good thing.
So, a couple people were asking, you're so big now, and they were like, you probably don't experience rejection anymore. Have you ever been rejected for, a collab or something that you wanted to do that didn't work out?
There's always, especially like at the moment,
And what advice would you give to kids?
Well, I wouldn't take it to heart because like everyone is busy and they've all got their own things going on, and some people might not realize how important this is to you. So if you're like, hey, do you want to collab? And someone's like, oh, sorry, I'm busy. You might have been like working up to send that message for 3 months and they didn't realize. But I still get, like, there's rejections now. Like, I submitted a pitch for this thing I was working on, a different idea last year, and I'd spent weeks working on all of these ideas that could go into this show I wanted to make. And then we just got the email back that was like, sorry, that's not what we're looking for. And so I'm just like, okay, put that in the bin. Let's start.
You know what I do when I get things like that?
Yeah.
They have all these lists online if you Google of 10 famous writers that were rejected.
Oh my gosh.
I love reading those though because it'll be like some big person and some, I don't know, they'll have gotten a letter being like, nope, lame, and then they go on to make like some amazing movie.
Yeah, I think rejection also will lead to something else happening as well, so it might be the right thing even if you don't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any parting words? We're about to be out of time, but any parting words for the fans here?
I mean, thank you so much for coming to this, because I know there's so many exciting things happening at VidCon, so for you guys to sit here with me for an hour, it really means a lot. So I hope you have a great time for the rest of the time you're here. Thanks for watching my videos, and have a lovely day. Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that was fun.